Every day, companies like Amazon, Netflix, Uber, and Spotify release software updates. New features appear, bugs get fixed, and millions of people continue using these applications without even noticing that an update happened. How is that possible? The answer lies in the way modern software is designed, and one of the most popular architectural patterns behind it is called microservices. To understand microservices, let's first look at how applications were traditionally built. Imagine you're building an e-commerce application. In the beginning, it's fairly simple. You have user login, a product catalog, a shopping cart, orders, payments, notifications, and inventory. Since the application is still small, you build everything inside a single project, maintain one code base, and deploy it as one application. This type of architecture is called a monolith, and for many applications, it is actually the best place to start. As the business grows, the application grows with it. More developers join the team, more features are added. The code base becomes much larger. Now, imagine you discover a small bug in the notification feature. You only changed a few lines of code, but because everything is packaged together, you still have to build, test, and deploy the entire application. Even though only one feature changed, every feature is part of the same deployment. Over time, releases become slower, testing takes longer, and making even a small change becomes riskier. Different teams also end up working in the same code base, making it easier for one change to accidentally affect another feature. This is exactly the problem that microservices were designed to solve. Instead of building one large backend application that does everything, we divide it into multiple smaller backend applications. Each one is responsible for a single business capability. For example, one service manages users, another manages orders, another processes payments, another manages inventory, and another sends notifications. Each of these independent applications is called a microservice. Notice that we are not splitting the application randomly. We split it based on business capabilities. Everything related to payments belongs to the payment service. Everything related to orders belongs to the order service. Everything related to inventory belongs to the inventory service. Each service owns one responsibility and focuses on doing that one job well. This follows the single responsibility principle, which simply means every service should have one clear purpose. It is also important to clear up a common misconception. When we say an application is split into microservices, we are mainly talking about the backend, not the user interface. Your website or mobile app can still look and behave like one application. The user never sees the split. Behind the scenes, however, the front end communicates with multiple back-end services to complete a single action. For example, when you click Place Order, the front end sends a request to the order service. The order service creates the order and then asks the payment service to process the payment. Once the payment succeeds, the inventory service updates the available stock. Finally, the notification service sends you a confirmation email or push notification. To you, this feels like one simple action. Behind the scenes, several independent services are working together. Now, you might wonder how these independent services communicate with each other. Each microservice exposes one or more APIs, which stands for Application Programming Interfaces. An API is simply a way for one application to communicate with another. For example, the payment service provides an API to process payments. When the order service needs to collect payment, it does not access the payment service's code or database directly. Instead, it sends a request to the payment service's API. The payment service processes the request and sends back a response saying whether the payment was successful or not. The important part is that the order service does not need to know how the payment service is built internally. It only needs to know which API to call and what response to expect. This agreement between two services is called an API contract. As long as both services follow that contract, each service can be updated or improved without affecting the others. This architecture brings several important advantages. First, every service can be deployed independently. If you fix a bug in the notification service, you only deploy that service. You do not have to redeploy the payment service, the order service, or the entire application. Second, each service can scale independently. Imagine a huge online shopping event where millions of people are making payments at the same time. Instead of increasing resources for the entire application, you can simply run more copies of the payment service. This makes the system more efficient and reduces infrastructure costs. Third, problems can often be isolated. Imagine the notification service stops working. Users can still browse products, place orders, and complete payments. They simply will not receive confirmation emails or notifications until that service is restored. A problem in one service does not automatically bring down the entire application. Of course, if a critical service like the payment service fails, users may not be able to complete purchases, but many other parts of the application can continue working. This ability to limit the impact of failures makes the overall system more resilient. At this point, microservices might sound like the perfect solution, but they are not. Instead of managing one application, you are now managing many independent applications. These services communicate over a network, so network delays and communication failures become new challenges. Debugging is also harder because one user request may travel through several services before it is completed. Monitoring, logging, security, testing, and deployments all become more complex. This added complexity is the reason many startups begin with a monolith and move to microservices only after their application and engineering team have grown large enough to benefit from this architecture. So, if you remember just one thing from this video, let it be this. Microservices are not about making software smaller. They are about breaking a complex backend into independent services, where each service owns a single business capability, can be developed and deployed independently, and communicates with other services through well-defined APIs. That is what allows modern software systems to grow, scale, and evolve without becoming one giant application that is difficult to maintain.